Papararam, 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 papararam. Pumapatak na naman ang ulan sa babong ng bahay. Adlib, Joby.
I don't
Di,
want to sing right now.
di maiwasang gumawa ng di inaasahang bagay.
Wow.
Laklak ng laklak ng bimag
Stop. Let's go.
naman.
Let's start podcast, man.
Okay. Good AM, PM, mga moms. You're listening to the Stercus Occurrit podcast, the podcast where shit happens. I am your co-host, Kobe Arbis, coming at you at 3 a.m. in Kyoto, Japan.
Dami,
Killing
dude.
myself, killing myself to record this shit. Of course, I have with me alcohol in order to numb out the pain that is life, and
To make you a little bit more interesting, right?
of course, and also to help me put up with the thorn in my side that is Jobi Alhama.
Oh my god. I hate you.
Yes, indeed.
So, hello. It's me again. Jobe.
Well,
Unfortunately, our other co-host Bobby is not here. He's apparently busy. So, how's
well,
your
here's
week?
the oh, my week has been
Wait,
it's
wait.
average.
Sorry. You were saying?
School, school. Oh yeah, well about Bobby and something to clear up is that like we were supposed to host this with other people, but like everyone in the Philippines is so caught
Busy.
up with the fucking flow, yo. You know, everyone's just killing themselves trying to do well in school. You know, they want to be well-oiled gears for the well-oiled system. Whatever, man. They can do whatever they want. I don't give a shit. We're here now, and that's all that matters. How was my week? So far it's been all right. It's been very standard, just run off the mill school shit. I've been so far nothing has been going on. I've been talking to people and I've been planning my great escape to get out of this country, as well as yeah, just hanging out with friends. This week though is one of my friend's birthday, and I will be celebrating that tomorrow actually. So I will probably
Happy birthday to him or her.
it's a her,
Oh,
and
happy birthday
yeah,
to her.
I will tell her that you said happy birthday. If she's a listener, she might know you, but I don't know.
We'll see.
How was yours?
Oh fuck, dude. Like, okay, I had my prelim exam last Wednesday. Good thing I was able to answer it, cause the day before that I couldn't sleep because of my sickness, dude.
Anxiety,
And
anxiety,
anxiety,
anxiety.
sickness, and stuff. Like, I've been sick since Monday. Until now, actually, I'm still sick.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, dude. Like, it's life's hard, dude. Life's being a bitch to me right now. So
I've been sick and forever, dude. Like I've been told that my immune system is fucking excellent.
probably the reason why I got sick also is because I'm stressed out. So
Perhaps, perhaps,
because I've
perhaps.
been like thinking about
Uh,
this exam over and over again, anxiety, like what you said, and then uh continuous homeworks day after day.
yeah,
So
that can't be good for you.
yeah, dude, less stress. So when you get sick, like there in Kyoto, like you're all alone, right? So how do you?
I've only gotten really sick one time, and what I did was basically I got a flu. I pretty much just stayed home the whole day, and I kept taking hot showers like every 2 hours. That's all I
Damn,
did.
dude, it's kind of hard when you're being alone there.
You get by. You get conditioned. You know, like the thing is like you don't come here on a whim. You gotta like condition yourself, like physically, mentally, spiritually. The physically part, not so much, but the mentally, spiritually part, oh boy. Like I would not have come here had it not been for me being stupid and taking risks. But it's okay. That's a story for another episode, because we made this episode to sort of wrap up and clarify what the fuck our pilot was, dude. That was
Yeah,
garbo.
dude. Yeah.
Right. So I did plug my pilot to some friends. It was well received. I hope everything's going well on your end
Actually, same here
too.
also, dude. Like, when I shared and plug the our pilot episode to them, there receive actually good feedback. Like one of them said, "Oh
Well,
my god, ha ha ha!" It's like she was laughing because I think she liked it.
she mentioned that she lost brain cells, I believe.
That's another comment from another friend. Like
I,
she's
I I'd be happy to deplete you of all of your brain cells. I don't think the world would need them anyway.
assholes.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she was like, it's so stupid, but I love this. Like I lost so much brain cells listening to this. Meaning, I think
Me,
she likes it, so she's
trust
looking
me,
forward to
buddy.
more. So
I lose more being part of this. Yeah. Going looking back at our pilot, I'm happy. We actually managed to get shit done, and I believe that my mic quality is a lot better now than it was the last time. I kept cutting out the last time, and
because
that
of his
and
internet,
like
yeah.
it drowned out like some of the the really woke shit I was trying to say. It underplayed just how fucking cool I am, and yeah, that's not cool.
In the last episode, you were like saying, "Oh, dude, you should talk more," and then you answered your own question or something like, "It's fine, I'll make it better someday." I'm like, "What do you mean by someday? Like we were recording that
Yeah,
day."
yeah. The thing is, like, when you drink alcohol, your mind tends to fog up, and like that's kind of what's happening right now, actually.
She's drinking
Oh
again,
yeah,
I see.
so tomorrow, or rather today, actually, I'm supposed to do volunteer work in an elementary school. I have to help students
Kids?
out with, yeah, yeah, kids. I have to help them out with an English presentation, and I'm gonna get paid at the end of it. And it's at 1:30, and so I'm like, whatever. I'll sleep. I'll sleep in.
Wait, so you voluntary like went into an organization and asked them if you could join them or
No, the thing is, like, it's the elementary school. Like, you know how LaSalle in
yeah.
the Philippines has a high school
Yeah.
that like is attached to their university. This is the same thing here. My university
Also
is
it's like
attached to
a
a
boarding
high
school
school, and
in a
not
sen.
no. So
No.
this school is called the Doshisha Elementary.
Oh, okay.
And I've been there before because I had a friend who reached out to me, and I was looking for volunteers to help teach kids English for a week. And so the principal, I believe, or at least some important person in that school, reached out to me again and said, we'd like you to come back. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Hmm.
They're really nice. The kids there are fucking smart as hell, and they're also rich as shit. They're all wearing brands.
What?
But the
Adidas
thing is,
and
like,
all stuff?
no, no, no. I'm not talking Adidas.
Watches?
I'm talking fucking Gooch, baby.
Gooch?
Uh,
Versace?
yeah. Well, I mean, not maybe not Versace, but like, I mean, kids are basic. They wear like fucking Supreme and shit. But you know
Oh,
what I'm
yuck.
saying.
Yuck. What a trash style, man. Taste.
They're trash style, but the kids are really fucking cute. They're just dumb kids. They like to play with you all the time. They always wanna. They're so eager to like share their shit with you. And the thing is, like, since they're really smart, like, okay, so they all speak Japanese, right? And my Japanese is obviously not
Not,
that good.
yeah.
It's very very very
Eh?
it's not even.
Like that?
Yeah,
Eh?
it's garbage. It's garbage. It's yokunai. Anyway, so my Japanese is trash, and but it's fine because the thing is these kids are smart as shit. So they learn English really early, so they can pick up basic English shit. Their English is about just a notch down from like say ano, provincial Filipinos.
Yeah.
Like provincial Filipinos can understand English, but they can't speak it. It's the same with these kids. You can understand it
And
if
it's
you
like,
speak really slowly, and also like you try to avoid the articles in English. Like, in Japanese you don't have and the, I believe. So it's like shit like that. You don't have to say and the. I mean, you should, because that's proper grammar structure, but sometimes it confuses the kids. It confuses, the DHL people, the delivery people when they come to my place. It confuses the Uber Eats people, but whatever,
it that
Yeah.
reminds me actually, like
Mm,
since I'm in a Catholic University School, UST, and then the main language that's being used there is like Filipino. And it's like
of
only a
course.
sprinkle of English is being used there. So every time I speak in English, like my accent tends to well, I have an accent, so it's not gonna go away. So every time I talk
Obviously.
in English, they tend to mock my my accent, and then when they when they mock me, and then when they say the sentences, they're still loading in their heads, like they're trying to understand it. So like, so what do you mean by
It,
that? And then they're trying to translate it back to their language. So
oh, that's fucking sad. But
yeah,
it be do. English is the future. That's a fact of
mm,
life, and
ganun lang
the
minsan, you know what they say.
ganun lang talaga. That's just how the
We
world
do.
works. Yeah, I did actually have a discussion in class where the professor brought up this thing called linguistic imperialism,
Yeah.
which is like a sort of postmodern sort of like theory, I believe, in the sense that it's like a sort of neo-colonialism, where they use English as a medium of consolidating political control, i.e., shit like that. I mean, the thing is, I'm not the biggest fan of postmodernism, but it was interesting anyway. But yeah, so
Do they ever talk about your accent in Japan there?
okay, so that's funny that you brought that up because the thing is, the more I've heard that when I the first few months I was here, like last year, my accent was apparently very thick. Uh, but the thing is, like when I talk to Filipinos, like you guys or my parents or whatever, my accent comes back. But then when I talk to them,
It's thick.
my accent disappears. No, my accent disappears. Like I start sounding more Americanized. That's what they tell me.
Also,
Like
it's like the accent, like when the
for
how you pronounce it, it goes up and it goes down. So it's like,
for example, Joby, like a baby cat's a kitten, diba?
yeah,
But then when I talk with them, I say it's a kitten. I'm like, oh shit,
kitten,
what the fuck? It's a kit.
kitten.
No, not a kitten. It's a kitten. Kitten. Actually, no, that's too much. That's too much. But like, yeah. So I really don't want to lose my accent because like I feel like it's part of my personality. I don't know
Mm.
because like the longer I stay here, the more I value my identity as a smelly Filipino, and especially since there's not a lot of Filipinos in my uni as well.
So yeah, like back to the USC thing. Like when they mock me, like when I asked them what kind of accent I have, they were like saying they said, "Oh, it's like you have an American accent." I'm like, "Huh?
Oh, they
What?"
they fucking wish, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I was like, "Yeah, dude, you wish." It's just, they're
The
like, so I was like, "Fine. How do you think I say it?" They were like, "So I'm gonna read this description." So, uh, Kobe pinned a message to the channel. So that's the sentence. So I'm gonna put it in an American accent. So I know, actually, that's kind of hard. I'll just improv. So, like, oh my god. So it goes up and it goes down. So
oh, so you talk like a valley girl when you fucking.
no, not because no. Okay, so my cousin is from the States and New York, and then see, he's a straight guy. I think from what I know. Still, I think I'm sorry, Kuya. so
Fuck.
so when he
Fuck. Fuck.
talks,
Fuck. Fuck.
when
Fuck.
he talks,
Fucking what? What?
he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, did you know about that?" He's like, "Oh, really?" So, oh my god, don't do that, please. So yeah, he's like that. So it's like a arty accent. So
I get you. As long as he doesn't have like a vocal fry.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah. So accents are part of the person. I realize that it's not just a problem that I have. A lot of people do have this issue where they talk to somebody from like their home area geographically, and their accent slips. But then when they start talking to someone like more westernized or someone just that's just generally not from their area, they start talking in like a very standardized English sort of speech. It's a problem that I share with some of my blackmates, but not all of them, obviously. But yeah, so like normally if any of them hear me listening, if any of them hear me talking like this, I don't know what they'll think, but they've heard me speaking Tagalog before because I pick up phone calls from home, important calls as well.
yeah,
uh so they can hear me use my super cool
accent.
elite Tagalog. They can hear that the good old putang ina, and all its glory. uh, that's the word that I teach them. They always
Wow,
small talk,
you're proud of
small.
it.
small talk, like you go to a fucking foreign country, you go to international school, of course the first thing they're gonna ask you
What's the
is
restaurant?
shit about your culture, right?
Yeah.
Shit about what country you're from. They ask you to say something like, oh, teach me something from your language, and then like, what's hello in Filipino? And I'm like,
Putang ina.
I'm not we actually don't have a hello. We say kumusta. Kumusta is like, how are you? When we
Mm.
say hello, we're just like kumusta. It implies that whatever. So oh, I
True.
wanted to talk about that later on anyway, but then they asked me say something in Tagalog, and of course the first thing I will always say is putang ina. And the thing is, the people who like
So they'll be like, "What's that?"
Filipinos are everywhere. You know, the thing is
Yeah,
like
dude.
Filipinos, I think, are the race of people that have the most uh immigrants, you know, more than Mexicans, because we ever OFWs are a very real demographic. It's insane. I'm taking a globalization class and they confirmed the statistic that Filipinos are indeed everywhere.
Dude, there are a lot. Oh my god, gee.
And yeah, we're the most, more
Especially
than
in
Mexico,
UAE, dude.
more than China, fucking everywhere. I always tell my blackmates that I bet you guys know at least 5 Filipinos, and then turn them. Sorry, I'm right more often than not. That's the thing, and it's crazy because the ones who are familiar with the Filipinos, in the sense that, you know, they're not maids, for example, like if they have Filipino friends, they know what putang ina means, and then they're like, hey, that's a bad word, and I'm like, yes, now you know. And now whenever I call my parents, they shout putang ina, and my mom just laughed. My mom gets mad at first, then she laughs. My dad's just like, what are you,
Like, what are you teaching them?
my dad just says putang ina back. But whatever. I don't
The
need
fuck?
my dad's cool. My dad's like a fucking child at heart anyway, so yeah. But then like what I wanted to bring up, right, was about how Filipinos never really do say hello. We don't have a hello. Like, to be honest, I was raised to we say hello, but we don't have a hello in our language. So like, strictly speaking, you know, when we greet someone, we say, you could say magandang umaga, but who the fuck says that,
It's
honestly,
so
right?
formal.
Magandang umaga. Magandang umaga,
It's
mga
yeah, like
mag-aral.
when we say hello, right?
Magandang umaga po, Ginong.
So when we say hello, right, you can say anything
Mm,
actually. So it's like
yeah.
tang ina mo, oy, musta na, like that. So
Kumusta kasi ano, sorry, I speak Tagalog for the listeners out there. I'll try not to. Kumusta means how are you? It's used in the same context as hello, but most languages, right, would have two words for hello and how are you. They're separate, you know. You would say hello first before how are you, but for us we just go straight to how are you. And there's like a, if you do a linguistic analysis, I think you can find that there is a very clear cut social cultural connotation, especially when you look at it anthropologically, right?
yeah,
Uh, f- because the implication that we don't have a hello in our contemporary language means that we are already welcome to receive anyone's attention, interaction. Because when you say hello, you, it's like when you message somebody on Twitter or whatever, you need to like, you can't just message anyone on Twitter. They need to like confirm that you're willing to talk to them, right?
connection.
It's like that because when you say hello, you establish this intangible rapport with somebody. It's like you're saying, I want to talk to you, I want to speak with you. And it's like, if they say hello back, it's a subliminal sort of engagement saying, okay, I am willing to
Willing to talk
converse
to
with
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then the fact that we don't have a hello means that, generally speaking, we are willing to converse with
anyone.
anybody.
Yeah,
We are, as a culture, it's
yeah,
not
like
something that, strictly speaking, you know, it's not true for everybody, right? Because like some people probably don't give a shit. But the thing is, like, it's more of an underpinning sort of general thing, you know, like it's an implication.
this brings me to like girls. Like how I don't know how the heck like can you talk forever? It's isn't it tiring?
Mm, it's easy, Joby. You pretend that what you say is important, and if
Well,
you think it's important, it will become important. That's what I do. That's what I think. You know, I talk forever. Have you listened to that pilot? It's like 90% me, dude. Like, holy shit.
no, I mean like in Quento base, like not from
Mm,
you know what I mean. So
I understand. I think it's also because like there's a
it's
sort of
it's built
there's
with
just
it.
It's not a gender thing so much. I think it's more of like, I think it's a subliminal thing. Maybe the gender comes into play, but not directly, because like I think they are. I think most girls,
Mm-hmm.
at least from the Philippine context, right? I think they are raised with the mentality that that emotional support is more important than physical support. Just the way the education works. You can see it in Woodrow's, right? And how their social dynamics differ from Southridge's, right?
Yeah.
In Southridge, physical rapport is very important, stuff like that. Our bonds are consolidated usually through hardship, like sports and shit like that, or group works. But in Woodrow's, the support group is more of an emotional thing. They rely on each other for lifelines and things like that. And I think the implication is that when you are in the support group, what you say becomes something that's more important, more valuable, right? Because like say for example that a guy says something like, oh, so yesterday I got dinner at Jollibee.
Actually, yeah. I
Honestly,
got
no
no.
one gives a shit,
Yeah,
you know,
no one
like
gives a shit.
if we're together and someone just says I ate Jollibee yesterday, I'm like, fuck ako, I don't give a fuck. Like eat whatever you want. Like eat fucking poop. I don't give a shit. But then the girls, like at least my cousin, I mean, I can speak for some of my friends back home as well. Like when they say, "Oh, I ate at Jollibee yesterday," and then okay. Here's the thing: is they also don't give a shit,
Yeah, but
but they
for
but
the sake
they
of being
react
kind,
they react. It's not just being kind. It's like it's a friend thing, because they rely on each other. They need to show that at least there's a consolidation of emotional support. So they all go like, "Oh wow, what did you eat?" They don't care. It's small talk.
what the fuck is that voice, dude?
Also it also plays to this psychological article that I read where I think you know about this, where males tend to be more impatient
Yes.
than
Yes.
women, and that so women have more patience for like the sort of social nuances like small talk, because I know I can confirm as a guy, and I can confirm that this is true for most people in Southridge as well, that small talk gets really tedious fast. We hate it. After a while we just like, bro, I want to leave this group. Like if this conversation does not end up being something that makes me interested
You just leave.
fast,
So like fuck it.
I just don't want to be here anymore. But girls, I think, have a higher threshold for small talk. Just being around them, sometimes it's not that it's a bad thing. It's actually, I think, a really good thing that they have a lot of threshold for small talk, because it has a lot of pros and cons as well, right?
Yeah.
Like for example,
Over talking.
over talking is not so much a problem. I think it depends on what you're talking about. I think that is the problem. But I don't want to get into that right now, because I feel like someone might find some weird political agenda in what we're talking about and call us misogynists.
Hmm.
Disclaimer, guys. Stercus Occurrit does not advocate any social political agenda, unless doing so would be comedic. But right now, at least in my environment,
We are very careful with this. So
well, we will try to be very careful. I'm not gonna make excuses for us, but Filipinos tend to be very loose mouthed. Also,
yes, true.
cause like I go to an international school, and the majority of the world is very neoliberal nowadays, and the Philippines is very very generally speaking a right wing country. So there's not a lot of we have a lot of patience for shit that crosses lines, but where I'm from, at least not where I'm from, but where I'm in now, not really. So I always have to watch what I say. And to be honest, I don't. It's not comfortable, but I feel like it's necessary anyway. And it's teaching me a lot about mindfulness. To be honest, like I find some good in it. Like I cannot cross the same lines I could back home, but it's still a good change in its own way. The fact that I'm saying this out right now, actually, the fact that I'm disclaiming that I have a certain social political disagreement might actually piss people off. So I think I'll digress right now. Let's talk about something else then. Yeah. So
How do you stay woke? Always.
me, do you think I'm woke?
Yeah, dude.
Mm,
Is it because you always have like beer right beside you, or you take long walks?
beer. Okay, those are both factors that come into play here. I drink beer for different reasons. Because the thing is
Forget
like,
what's recent.
for
Yeah,
first of all, alcohol is a narcotic.
yeah.
It's an addictive substance. But I'm not really. That's not my addiction. My addiction is caffeine. But the thing is, sometimes I do suffer from insomnia, and sometimes I drink beer just to get tipsy so that it's easier for me to sleep. But that's like on a very bad night. Most of the time, I just drink beer because I'm low tolerance and it hits me really easily,
You have
and
insomnia or something?
I feel good. Yeah, I do have insomnia, but it's fine. I've been living with it for the past how many years, and I got used to it. It was worse in SHS in senior high school when we were doing research. I would average at most 2 hours a night.
Asleep of sleep. Wow.
Because the thing was, I was in the GA strand, the general academic strand, and we
And
had
your
a lot of free
workload.
time.
Oh, really?
Where our workload was a lot of our workload was not in school; it was out of school, so we could do it at home. We had workload, but it was more of like just email the workload kind of thing.
Mm.
And what we would do is that what we would do if we had free time was that we would like go to empty classrooms and sleep on the tables.
Yeah, I remember that. When I go to your classroom, you're always asleep. If
Yeah.
not, like sitting down on a chair and sleeping on top of the table. You're
Same. And
literally
like,
on top of the table or on the floor.
right. That's really just how it be out in those parts. And like also during lectures, especially like when I attended those ABM lectures, the accounting and business management lectures, especially very much especially the one about entrepreneurship. Sometimes I get so tired in class, I just leave the classroom and I go to a toilet, like a cubicle, and I sleep there.
Are you serious?
I
You
get
pass
so
out
tired,
there.
I actually die. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, so high school was not so much about like managing time for schoolwork, but managing time for sleep because you have to work at night anyway because you can't sleep at night. So yeah.
Do you
I'll
miss high school?
I'll be honest, no, it sucks, but I'm grateful that I went through it because the Southern Senior High School system was so fucking
Bad.
it was bad in a good way. It's bad in the same way like say, how you prove yourself in combat or whatever. I don't know, that's a shitty example, I'm drunk, but like what I'm saying here is that it was very, unethical. Our SHS system was so unethical. Only two batches graduated with the original system. Then I think they're gonna do a very fucking big overhaul to it. That's what I understand, at least from where I'm at right now. That's the view, and like that's the view because I don't read and I don't keep up. But generally speaking, right, we did a lot of shit that normal high school kids should not be doing. For example, fucking cryotech.
To create a such waste of money, waste of time,
Waste of
waste of
money, waste of
sweat,
time, waste of everything.
everything.
Fuck. I mean, that's a story for another day. What's this? Yeah. So, what else? You asked me how do I stay woke, and night walks. Night walks are a big help as well. Because I actually did a presentation this week about walking. Because I'm in this stupid class. It's like a it's a class about TED talks,
Like oral com
and
last.
we yeah, pretty much we had to do give TED talks, and I gave mine about walking, but it was bad. It was really shit actually because I exceeded the time limit. We only had 5 minutes, and I ended up talking for maybe 12, and then the guy told me to shut the fuck up, get down from stage, and I'm like, oh. But like essentially I talked about what goes through my mind when I go on these long night walks and things like that. A lot of the times, it's like it's not as complicated as you think, but there's a lot that goes through your mind. For example, when you're busy like the whole week,
Yeah.
like walking is like the only sort of like rest you get from working in location A to location B. For example, you have to go to another building for a class. You shouldn't look at walking as at the transition from location A to location B. You should look at it as this sort of rest period between location A and location B. So where you can enjoy yourself and look at your surroundings and find yourself, play with your thoughts for a little while, something like that. Just basically walking gives me a lot of time to play with my thoughts because I'm alone, and the thing is my body's in motion, so I don't get tired, I don't get sleepy necessarily. My body is active and my mind is active, so it's like a really good exercise for mindfulness and just General well-being, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of it.
What about shower thoughts?
I don't think when I'm in the shower because whenever I shower, I'm running late. So
Like even not even one nighttime. Like
yeah, and I don't really shower at night. I always shower in the morning.
so you can be awake. Okay, that's wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never shower at night because when I go out of the showers at night, I mean it depends on the weather. Right now I don't, but if it's cold, I think I shower like maybe twice a day. But right now it's humid and hot as shit, so I shower maybe once a day.
Isn't it supposed to be like op uh, uh opposite? No, not opposite. The other way around.
No,
Like it's
because like
hot, so you have to take.
because like cold, warm water, I can't do cold water. I'm tired of cold water because like I had nothing but cold water back home. Like okay, like say what you want about Japan, it's really hot, it's really humid, but it's nowhere near as bad as the Philippines. The
It's a
Philippines is
shithole,
still
dude.
the Philippines is still worse. Like Japan's peak is the average temperature in the Philippines, so it's like whatever. So yeah, and like most of my days, like I really only go home to sleep. So like it doesn't, and then when I wake up, I just leave. So it doesn't make sense if I shower more than once since I'm outside more than I'm in my house. So
I actually got woke earlier actually when I was in the shower. It's kind of weird though.
what happened?
I was like, cause I was just I told this about I told this to my friend earlier. I was with someone earlier, so I was like, she was like, so what's the thing that you thought about during your showers? I was like, friends are like,
Friends, the TV show.
no, no, not the TV show, like
I'm
the
sorry.
actual friends. Like sooner or later, they will go, like for a reason or with reasons. For like example, studies, family, or probably when you're dead already. It's like
Yeah,
you can't avoid it. It's like
I
people
mean, here's the
people come and
okay.
go.
There's a criticism for that ideology that I think like would be because it depends really on how you look at it, and the way you look at it I think is not necessarily the case. Like I think it would make more sense if you looked at it categorically. uh do you believe that all friends are the same?
Yeah, that's also one.
Because the thing is, like, if you assume that all friends are the same, then all friends will come and go. They're all transitory, they're not permanent. You so the people that you meet in your block, for example, will have the same value as, say, someone you've known all your life in high school. Obviously that's not the case because you will have a more nuanced, deep connection with that guy from high school, right?
And then
So like
yeah,
it does, yeah. So in other words, there's categories of friendship, there's degrees of trust and degrees of relatability, degrees of connectedness. Like I understand that when I graduate from my school here, I will never see the majority of my block for the rest of my life. They're gone, bye
there'll be a
bye,
slim chance.
and I will never speak to them again. But however, I do believe that I will stay in contact with a good number of them. Not a lot, but a good number.
Yeah, and also this to add to that, like I told her, this is like more or less why we cherish this. It's like a present. Like I told her it was like, oh, I'm basically like quoting, Mr. Master Uguay from Kung Fu Panda. Yeah.
Yeah, the future is the present. The
No,
future, no,
the present is a gift.
the present is a gift. That's why it's called the present. I remember.
Yeah, and then the future is a mystery. So because you don't know what will happen and shit, and then when that shit is like done, it becomes history. So
It really, I think, depends on also your personal axiology. Okay, I should stop doing shit like that. Axiology means it's the
nerd.
philosophy. No, I'm not a fucking nerd.
Yeah,
That's the
you're
bra-
saying.
it's the branch of philosophy that deals with where you put your values, how much value you add into certain things, and yeah, it's a specific branch of philosophy that deals with like how much importance object A is compared to object B or whatever. So like it depends at the end of the day to how much value you place on this person compared to the other person. How has this person been influential to your life, and whether you want to keep him or not, something like that, whether he's like someone that is close to you, important. Like, look at it this way, like, look, would you say that we're good friends, Joby?
Of course.
Yeah.
Why do you think we have this podcast?
Exactly, exactly, you fucking dummy. Like, look at it. Look at how many. Okay, there were like more than 100 of us in high school. Okay, and like, give or take, maybe 30 people. Uh, a lot of the people in high school you've known for like maybe more than 13, 14 years.
Yeah,
And like, do you talk to them?
not really.
No.
Little to
just
no.
just just
Little to
just
no.
cause just cause I've grown up with them for like more than half of my
Means
fucking life doesn't
amazing.
mean, like, it doesn't mean anything. Cause like, people would think that if you've known someone for like fucking 14 years, you'd be like brothers, and I'm like, fuck off with that shit. No, it's like,
Yeah. Excuse me.
it's because some of them
Are
I
assholes.
don't. Yeah, generally speaking, some of them I don't like. So my personal axiology with them is that I don't put value in them, so I don't talk to them. Like, I don't hate them. I wouldn't tell them to go fuck themselves if they talk to me, but it's like I'm not gonna go out of my way to speak to them because they're not that close with me. I wouldn't like show them memes and shit like that, stuff like that. But like, yeah, but then the thing is, with friends, it's different because you as a person a lot a higher value to them. And oftentimes in psychology, it's reciprocated. This is true in a lot of things, like in friendship and romance, that what you get what you give. There's a lot of scientific basis for that idea. If you've heard
Yeah.
about it, you get what you give. It's that's a good song. You know that song?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does it go again? Wake up, this and got the dream
Uh,
is that.
I forgot.
Yeah,
This is a stupid segment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn, dude. This.
Joby,
Yo.
let me. Okay, so why am I was that an unironic question that you asked? Like, wow, like, why are you so woke?
Nah. Nah, not on.
So
Nada.
you okay? It was a joke, all right then. Okay, because I was about to ask you as well, like, if you're still religious.
If I'm still religious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's that's this is where I am right now with my religion, my faith. I don't know where I am. Like,
That's a good thing, because that
cause
means
I'm
that means you're
I'm yeah.
what?
Sorry.
Sorry, no, 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 no. I was
I'm
rude. I'm
I,
rude.
I'm agnostic right now.
uh,
Right
okay,
now.
so
So like I don't know whether to believe or not to believe. So yeah, I'm like I don't know. I'm favoring more into sciences.
okay, here's the thing. Like, it's not a bad face to be agnostic, because like the thing is that means you're receptive to change. I actually found that that for a long time, religion was the gateway to a lot of like my critical thought. I've been
Yeah,
I've
you
been
told me
thinking
about that.
about I've been thinking about religion for years. Ever since I was like less than half your age. I was already all about God and religion. But the idea that I'm trying to convey here is that, like, I've spent a lot of time with a lot of people. I've spent time with people who were religious and could defend it, and who couldn't, and vice versa. I've spent time with the atheists and the Satanists and the people who are just downright, not religious, and everybody in the middle. And I find that a lot of the people who are more reasonable, the people who make more sense to me, are the people who are religious. And no, I'm not talking about the people who just swallow and choke on dogma like all throughout their life. The people who actually have a personal philosophical attachment, to the religion. Like, I did a paper last semester where I wrote about religious syncretism. And I was reading this book. It was a sociology book about religion, and the author stated that no two people have the same religion,
Wow.
and that 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 makes sense because everybody's got their own religion. Same God does not mean the same religion, because religion is a methodology. It's
Yeah,
a
it's a
system
belief.
of beliefs,
Yeah.
and how people choose to enact these beliefs is really, it really depends on person to
That's why
person. You
there
know.
are people who are radical, right?
Yeah, that's why there's fundies and people who are, you know, woke. And like
Woke.
for the longest time, like, and for like most of my high school, I was an atheist. But I actually, towards the end of my high school, right, I did actually get my religion back. That's why I am more open minded when it comes to belief in God now, because I read two people who made a lot of sense to me. Or
Yeah.
two people, or one person. I think it was one person. I read one person who made a lot of sense.
Also,
And this was a, wait, sorry.
no, I was still thinking. Go ahead.
This person single-handedly gave me my religion back. Not, I mean, I'm not dogmatic, you know. I'm not like old Kobe was dogmatic. I was actually telling people that they were gonna go to hell, they didn't confess, and I was fine with that. I was like, "Fuck you." And then that was like 9-year-old me. But now I'm 18, and like it's different, because I read this guy, this little guy, named, I think you know him because I like to make jokes about him. Spinoza.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baruch Spinoza, or
I saw a
Benedictus
photo of
Spinoza.
this in your Twitter.
I love this guy because he's so fucking cool. I love his interpretation of God, because the thing is, he came at an era of philosophical thought that was very much influenced by the church. There were two camps, you see. There were the rationalists and the empiricists, and they were both arguing over how we would arrive at knowledge. The rationalists tended to be more Christian, more religious, because they believed that knowledge was arrived at through reason, but not reason in that traditional sense that you use your brain, but reason in the sense that knowledge is something that there's something that there's a dependence on something that is a priori. A priori means something that can be known, or that is being that you can observe without experience. And a posteriori is the opposite. You need experience to you know to
To know.
observe it. And empiricists are the basically, your atheist, your malady, like the what you see is what you get, in a nutshell. Spinoza was a rationalist, and he believed that knowledge therefore could be arrived at without experience. And this is because he believed in God. And how does this tie into what he says? Well, his argument for God was like the best argument for God I've ever ever heard in my life. Open my fucking eyes, dude.
Mm.
The thing is, like, if you go to like a really dogmatic priest, if you go to like fucking the Southridge Mancom and you tell them about Spinoza, they'll probably still kill you.
What the fuck?
Like, he's religious. He was a fucking bishop, I believe. He was excommunicated, actually,
A
for
bishop.
what I believe was it him who was a bishop, or was it Berkeley? I think it was Berkeley. But anyway, so Spinoza was very religious, but he was excommunicated anyway. And the guy was kind of like a troll as well. He would always like fuck with people. But aside from that, his interpretation of God is dangerous because the really dogmatic members of the church hate it. Uh, so Spinoza argued that, okay, I don't want to butcher his argument because it's elegant as fuck. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the quote. Yeah, let's get woke, Joby. Oh, by the way, wait. Yeah, it's almost there. It's almost there. I love this boy. He's a good
Yeah.
boy,
Also
Spinoza.
to that, this is
What's
I
up?
tend to say also, like, okay, I said that I'm agnostic. I don't know where I am right now. I still tend to say God bless you, though. So
I mean, that's just a cultural thing.
I think so. I guess so.
All right, listen to this. Okay,
Yo, fire.
so I'll explain it to you as well. God is the cause of all things
Okay.
which are in Him. So the argument he lays out is basically this. So in okay, this is the portion of the podcast where people get really woke. Let's get ready, boys. This is not so much gonna be memes and shit posts anymore. This is just gonna be some. I'll try to make it entertaining. You know, I'm all for entertainment, but like excuse the content now. I'll try to make it funny.
People are gonna
So
click away now.
they only do that if you say
Let's hope
that. So
not.
fuck you.
Let's.
You're making it funny because I'm calling you out for being a fucking loser. Anyway, so right. So are you familiar with the concept of substance?
Yes.
Not in the scientific way, I meant.
No.
Because in philosophy, substance is something that is entirely different. What the fuck is substance? Substance is, I think, a term that I think was coined by Descartes, Rene Descartes,
Yes.
Descartes.
Excuse me. Yes.
And if I remember correctly, substance is something that can exist on its own. It's something that does not. It's basically like, for example, atomic theory. Atoms are a substance. They can exist as itself and only in as itself.
Yes.
But Spinoza then argues that there is only one substance, and this substance is everything. Everything is therefore made out of this substance, because substance is the thing that, like, if you whittle down everything to its bare components, you will arrive at substance. That's what the idea is in philosophy. Substance is the smallest possible
So
component.
like
And
like an atom.
if you look at it scientifically, an atom, but then he argues that there's something smaller than atoms. There's something that like connects all of these atoms together, that makes an
Quarks.
atom an atom. Not even
Quark.
quarks.
Not quarks.
Not even quark. Look at it metaphysically. Metaphysics means look at it beyond reality. Yeah, this is where
Damn, dude. What the fuck?
everything is made out of this substance. Quarks, atoms, all of this shit, and Spinoza argues that this substance is God.
Yeah, that's
But then
something divine.
now you're like, what the fuck does that mean? So this is where the church hates him, because he argues that God is not like an anthropological sort of an anthropomorphic being. Because like what Christian doctrine says is that God is a personified, God is a character, right?
Yeah.
And Spinoza says no, that's not the case. God is nature.
Yeah.
God God is the laws of nature that govern the world. God is a process. You get it? God is
God is
not
everything.
God is not God is not like an object or an entity. God is a phenomenon. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
So God is basically the laws that govern the universe.
So it's like the saying, "Oh, he's from there from the start, from the beginnings of shit."
Yeah, not even just that. That's just one part of it. It's like this. For example, the fact that I can produce sounds from like my vocal cords and talk to you is a product of me as a conglomeration of the substance that is God enacting upon the will of this substance that is God, that allows me to do what I do within the substance. So in a nutshell, look at it this way. God is a self-referencing cycle. The universe is God, which exists in itself. Look at it. So like everything that so the whole universe is all composed of a substance. Metaphysically, you can whittle down the substance to be nature, the laws of nature, things that govern. And Spinoza says that this can be described as God. You know who believes in Spinoza?
Oh,
Sabandal.
Sabandadi.
Sabandadi believes in Spinoza. He loves Spinoza and Aquinas. Yeah, he's actually really cool.
Fuck.
So how God governs the universe is Spinoza lays down four ways: formation, purpose, shape, and matter. But I won't get into the nitty gritty. But if you take it into account, basically everything is God, and God is self-referencing. We all manifest ourselves as God. But then the thing is, it's dangerous to assume that Spinoza's God is God like the Father, because that's not the case. That's why people argue that Spinoza is actually just an atheist, because his idea of God is not even like a religious God. It's just an all-encompassing thing. But the thing what made Spinoza very interesting was that he derived the system of ethics from this idea of God,
Wow.
which turns out to be something that is very religious in itself. So this is where the educational part finishes. I think a lot of people get bored.
Yeah, people are gonna get. Well, that was interesting though.
Oh, that's just one theory. There's a lot of really interesting theories. Like if you want to know more, you can
Hit your
hit
boy.
hit hit me up, or you can follow my solo project, which I have not published yet. It's basically going to be something like that.
Hold on.
Uh,
Sorry, I'll
yeah,
get the charger. Wait.
right. So I'll fill in some dead air with the. I'm gonna tell you boys like what's been bopping, McBopping. Right. So like I hope you guys are enjoying the show, because like I don't know if I'm doing it well. I walk into these things with like literally no no plan, no script. It's all impromptu. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I understand that like probably should storyboard it or whatever, but I don't believe in that shit. When I do my presentations in school, I don't have scripts or outlines. I just talk. So yeah,
Alright, I'm back.
yeah. I was just talking to the listeners anyway. So
Are you
uh
lighting a cigarette right now?
no, yeah, I am.
No, cause it's so easy to tell. Cause you place the stick in between your mouth and you're like no.
But
Like
yeah,
it
I
only
never.
yeah.
Yeah, smoking is bad. Don't do it. I really hate smoking
And why are you doing it?
because I'm stressed all the time and because life is pain. But here's the thing. Also,
We know.
I never smoke with other people. Like,
You do it
I
alone.
don't. I always do it by myself. I don't like the idea of people breathing in my shit. It's rude. I'm an asshole. You know,
Yeah.
like
Second
I'm a
smoke,
cunt.
second hand smoke.
Yeah, I'm a cunt if I smoke with other people. So like, I don't care about the image. People think that I do it to look cool. I'm like, I don't even do it with people around. No one sees me smoking. So it's like, only a few people see me smoking. Like, but then I always ask them like if it's all right, and I always do it in a smoking area, and they follow me there. So that's on them. So
Don't you have any like withdrawals from that? Like smoker's cough.
not. Here's the thing. Sometimes I do. I used to be a lot worse. You'd be surprised that I actually started this really early. It's not a habit I picked up like just when I got here. It's been a thing like ever since high school. I've been smoking because of stress since I was like in grade 10.
So early.
But yeah, but the thing is, in grade 10, I can't buy cigarettes, so I would steal my dad's and smoke them outside somewhere where they couldn't see me, where they couldn't find it, where they and or in a yeah. So I made the mistake of smoking them, and then my mom noticed the smell and she got really mad at me, and they found the butts in my trash can. So,
You know
but yeah,
there was a trick
sorry,
like with my
yeah.
cousin. I was with my cousins. We were like having the what do you call this? The quote unquote adult talk
Wait, about what?
about smoking. Like
Oh, there's no.
if you wanna smoke inside a house, like or you're with your parents,
Yeah.
you go to the shower.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a overhead shower, yeah, that's a better advantage. You turn on the shower and then blast it with hot water, and then the steam's gonna carry the smell of the cigarette.
I don't have heated water when in my household. That's the thing.
Or
I
or
I
like
used. Sorry.
for now, like I don't know if you want to do it. Like since you're smoking right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to smoke, well, you have a hot shower there, right?
Yeah, but like my gas bill.
Oh right, yeah. Oh, I
I
can't.
don't, and like my room, good ventilation. I just do it with the windows open, and then it doesn't smell like anything.
Dude, I can hear you because of the cigarette.
Oh, yeah. I actually, for a long time, I wanted to keep it a secret from like my blockmates because a lot of them are like super judgmental about smoking, and I was right. A lot of them think I'm a piece of shit just because I smoke. So yeah, I don't get it, to be honest. I don't understand like why there's like a double standard as well because a lot of people like in my department are okay with sex and fucking and shit like that. But then the moment someone lights a cigarette, it's like he's a fucking subhuman filth, you know? It's like get that shit out of here. You know?
Don't smoke as much, dude. You know what they say, smoking
Oh
kills.
yeah, I stopped. There was a time where I would do like half a pack a day.
Fuck.
Now I do like maybe one or two a day.
Two
And I I,
sticks.
I, I I always do it like after school as well.
And dude,
So
don't get
it's always after like a long day, you know, where I'm tired and I just want to relax.
don't get lung cancer. Dude. Cancer
I
sucks,
hope.
dude, from experience. Cause
I
I had cancer, leukemia. Well, that's a different kind of cancer. But dude, fuck.
Yeah. I feel like yeah, I feel like cancer is a bitch. Like sometimes when my lungs hurt because I sometimes I let loose and I do it too much and then my lungs start hurting and I feel like I'm about to die. But it's like the thing is like if I die because of that, I won't even feel bad because it was on me.
Like cancer. When I was a kid, actually, when I got the cancer, it would literally drain the life out of you. Like you couldn't do anything you want to do. Like you're always in bed. If not in bed,
Like
you're under chemotherapy. You're going therapy with your doctor and shit. So like if you saw my if you notice my hands, my the top of my hands,
yeah, right.
I had
There's
scars,
yeah scars. I
burn
remember.
scars, and then yeah, the one near my elbow. Dude, my gulay.
Dude, this is getting morbid. We should lighten up
Yeah.
the mood.
So yeah, that's
Um.
it.
Okay. You asked me a question. Let me ask you a question, Mister Medicine Man. Do you think you are satisfied with UST college life?
No,
Really? No.
like yeah, like
You
there
hate it.
not the word that I would use. It's hate. Like I'm not enjoying it yet.
Yeah. Oh, are you?
Probably because I don't know. I'm still new to college. Like since I'm only I'm like a sophomore coming upcoming sophomore, I guess.
Right.
So and then also since I'm still an undergrad. Like because my dreams is actually to be like a full on doctor, but I'm still
Right. Of
here. So
course.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm not entirely sure with this course because this course is
Med
it's
bio.
yeah
You're gonna
medical, but
shift
no,
already.
I'm not shifting. I'm not shifting.
Oh.
Like I'm not like it's completely new. Like they only introduced it last year actually. So
Oh shit! Really?
they're quite unsure with the topics to discuss with. Like
Med bio.
yeah, even one of my prof in systematics said we actually have no idea what to teach you guys. She was like that.
Why would they admit that? What the fuck?
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like they had an idea, but in the sense that like she said, we more or less have no idea what to teach you. Like we're only teaching you what the old CHED, the Commission on Higher Education, is telling us what to do. It's like the old curriculum.
Ched.
So it's like, oh, just teach them like biology and shit, but do it in a more advanced way than usual. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Besides the dissecting of the animals and stuff, that's actually helpful for the future. It's gonna help you in the
Oh
future.
yeah, of course, no doubt about that.
And like, I took a botany. Here's the thing with botany: when you look under the microscope, when you look under the microscope, a cross section of a leaf of
Yeah.
a root, I guess. No, not a root. That's way too different. They will look in. They will look the same, no matter how. I don't, yeah, so they will look the same.
No matter like which one you look at,
Yeah, no
which leaf
matter.
you look at.
Yeah, there will only be like a sprinkle of stuff that you will be able to distinguish. Like, oh, this is the xylem, the phloem. The xylem is the one that brings up the water to the leaves. I think I'm forgetting. And then the phloem is the one that brings it down.
The phloem.
Sorry,
the
wait.
fucking the fucking phloem.
Let me remember my botany.
Yummy phloem.
Yeah, so xylem transports water and soluble minerals, nutrients from roots to various parts of the plant. And then the phloem translocates sugars made by the photosynthetic areas of plants to the storage organs.
Right, right.
So yeah. So yeah, they
Huh.
look all the same when you
Are they all the same?
no.
Hmm.
They have their own functions, but by just looking by their appearance, they look all the same. So yeah. Like okay, also damn dude. I
yeah.
this is like a standard way of exams in UST. I think in UST only. They have what you call a moving exam. Do you know what that is?
What?
A moving
No.
exam. So
The fuck is that?
this was actually Mr. Gunnar, our old teacher. I'll just name drop. But anyway, he introduced us moving exam, but he didn't implement, like he didn't just give us a dry run. He told us about it when he was in his stay in UST. So he was like, "Oh, you know when you're going to UST and you're under the sciences field, the course,
Yeah.
they will give you a moving exam." So he was like, "Oh, what's a moving exam?" So he said, "A moving exam is when they will give you a limited time, at most one
Hmm.
minute, to walk and to study the specimen under the microscope. If you couldn't answer that, that's it. Say goodbye to that number, to that item, and then you have to move. You have to
Dude,
rotate.
what in God's name? That sounds fucking tough. What the hell?
Dude, fuck, dude. I had to crawl my way in zoology and botany, especially in botany. Like prior to what I said earlier, like they look all the same. So
Bruh.
this happens like four times a semester actually. Like
God.
the prelims, no, not the
Are
prelims.
they are they as hard as I think they are?
Yes, they're really hard. Dude.
What's dude? I swear
It's
to God, like I swear, dude, your fucking school is just a battle royale, man. Like I swear to God, everyone's just fighting to stay alive, and no one, like everyone's just trying to one up.
yes.
No one wants to succeed. Everyone just wants to survive, dude. It's so clear. Like, what kind of lessons will anyone learn from a question like from like that form of exam? Like, you're not teaching shit. You're just making them fucking like work faster.
Probably okay. Probably because also, in my case, since I'm in medical biology, they're
Mm.
more or less like training us already to like think fast, think logically when you're when you're in stress or when you have stress. Like for example, when you're in med school, you're like let's say internship residency, like oh shit dude, like you're real patients already, and then like left and right you have so many patients, you're doing so much shit, and then you have a superior asking, well, what's this, what's that. So probably they're also training you for that, like a mindset, like
Okay.
how to cope with it and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, in zoology though.
That's dumb though. There's better ways to do that. Like that's why they have, that's why okay, so here's the thing. Like you can't expect like your fucking graduates to be emotionally, mentally, psychologically competent.
Stable, yeah.
That's why you have fucking HR departments. You're gonna like end up underemploying like the
Excuse me.
fucking people who are trying to get into the corporate psychology and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like people need HR. Trust me. I did HR for a while and I was important. Where HR are the unsung heroes of the corporate world. Look at
Like
South.
yeah.
Their HR is like pathetic. The one HR guy who cared got like shit handed to him.
Damn dude. Like if not, like usually it's like supposed to, you're supposed to tell what part is this, what's the function.
Yeah.
That's the only, that's not the only thing you have to do. Sorry, voice crack. You
Right.
have you have to like understand why it's doing that and stuff. Like the mechanisms and shit.
I have no problem with like what your exam constitutes. It's just the way it's conducted,
The
where
way,
there's so much. It's like it's literally a survival of the fittest thing. Like, I mean, college essentially is a survival of the fittest, but at this point, it's like you are not training, professionals. You are training like fucking.
just
It's
robots.
like you're not even yeah, they're programming you to be effective in like this. Yeah, it's terrible. It's so blatantly obvious that they're just trying to like sift out all the garbage and throw them away so that only the ones who are competent will stay. There's like no development. There's no growth in that sort of shit, and that environment does not encourage any development at all. It's really bad, I think.
Zoology, on the other hand, was okay. Actually, we also had moving exams, but then we distinguish the parts of the animal, which is actually interesting. So it's more or less gonna help you, especially when we went over mammals, because the muscles in mammals are like, let's say, almost the same as humans, since we're mammals also, right? So that's the fun part.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I feel like my bicep feels like a kangaroo's. You know.
And then yeah,
Sometimes I feel like my calves take after a dolphins.
it's kind of, as of now, for my situation right now, it's kind of, let's say, rare that they're discussing something medical related. Like they're still discussing the old curriculum besides the dissecting and stuff. That's partly medical already. Because in the future we'll be like what, dissect, like opening a cadaver and stuff. So this is getting a bit so
All these med students are like on such a long grind. It's crazy. I think you guys deserve a lot of respect.
what about
Uh,
what about
what?
those people in law? There's the thing with law and med. There's like a argument. There's like a issue about between those two. There's like this. They have like almost the same length, and then there'll be like, oh, I took up law. I took up medicine. Like for example, I took law, and then your medicine, and it's like, oh, I took law. I'm so sorry. Like I took longer than you, and medicine's like, oh, bitch, I'm dealing with real people here. Like it's a matter of life and death. Like
I really
which is
don't.
more sensitive?
I
You get
really
that?
don't think it's a fair comparison. Apples and oranges.
Yeah, right. It's like they're making it an issue.
Just because I don't know. I mean, med people I can let slide because people in med can't argue worth a shit. No offense, but law people are supposed to be like, they always pride themselves to be like the fucking pinnacle of like humanities. Like there's a lot of clout when you say you're a lawyer. It sort of insinuates that you know how to formulate and structure and criticize arguments and logic and shit like that.
But
And like
yeah,
when he's like getting to fights over with med students because of how long their shit took, it's like no. But like I also hate how it's like they proliferate this sort of masters is okay sort of ideology, where it's like you can stop at masters just because it gives you an employment edge. Because the way I see it is that when I get into college for certain fields, when no sane person will get into philosophy and just graduate and be like whatever. So because that's the thing some people do in the Philippines. Philosophy is considered like a lost man's course, like psychology in the Philippines. I think people take it just to have something, just to have a versatile degree to have that is not necessarily really hard to work for. But I feel like I'm in the really strong minority because I'm taking it out of an appreciation for the discipline.
hmm.
And I think you're taking medicine because of an appreciation for the discipline. And you med people, I feel like are so fucking like ooh, especially med bio. It's like med bio are the people who can't just like it's so sad because med bio are bio people,
Yes.
but they want to get into med.
It's a
and and and,
preparatory.
and the thing is, like, I think most bio people want to get into med anyway, generally speaking. But
In
at
the
the same
old,
time,
yeah.
though, it's like, what about the people who are doing med like right off the bat, like med tech or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's just unfair. I feel. And like the grind is like so tough for med students as well. Like med and law students, like, okay, like they can be retarded sometimes, but their grind is like crazy. When I was a kid, I was such a cunt to like my like doctors and pediatricians, because like when I would get sick all the time. I was like a pathetic kid. I would get fucking sick and I would get hospitalized every other fucking day or whatever. And then whenever the doctor could came through with a diagnosis and like they were like, we don't know what's wrong with him, I always go like, that's your fucking job. What do you mean you don't know what's wrong with me?
Christ.
And then the thing was, my mom is like friends with a lot of doctors. A lot of her doctors are like her closest friends. Like I think my godmother's a doctor, and I'm out there talking shit, saying doctors are frauds. She would get so mad at me. And like now in hindsight, it's like, there's a lot of gaps of knowledge, and like the grind that you guys pull through. It's crazy. I just
In
develop a respect. I mean, I find that I become more respectful as I grow older. Anyway, so.
you know the thing when
Mm.
there's situations where there's a term called medical legula, where
I have no idea. What the fuck is that? What?
it means that you're a doctor already, but then you decided to take up law and you've passed the bar exam and now you're a full doctor and a full lawyer. So
Like Sabandal?
Sabandal, is
I'm
it
joking. I'm joking.
no?
I
Sabandal's a
don't know.
doctor and a priest. So
Men Chavez is a lawyer.
well, yeah. So
JP.
sorry, JP. What? Ah, yeah. So yeah,
JP Menchaves, he's a lawyer.
yeah. So there's some people who are like really taking it to the extremes, dude. Like taking up med and law. Like they're like okay, they're doctors already. Like they can do whatever. Like they can help people already, and then they decide with their lives like, oh shit, this is like
They're
okay.
like, those are really really impressive credentials. There was a time actually when I was younger
You'll be on
where
the
I
grind
wanted
for
where
long.
there was a time when I was younger where I wanted to get two PhDs. I wanted to get one in philosophy and one in psychology. And actually, now that I think about it, I think I just want one.
It's tiring.
Because like as if one wasn't hard enough. I wanted two when I was younger. Oh, not by younger, I mean just a few years ago, like the tail end years of high school. I was like, shit, I need as much clout as I can get. I do, however, do not really. I think now that I mention it, like I say that I want to do psychology. I still think psychology is really interesting, but I've grown fond of anthropology since I'm doing a lot of those here in my uni.
Right,
So I might end up trying to do something in there instead. Philosophical anthropology.
right. I think we can end it here already.
How long are we?
We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Wow, really? Holy shit, we lost track of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really sorry to our listeners. This is a deviation from our program. Sorry, I cut out. This is a deviation from like our regular programming. We were usually a lot of fun, but the thing is like it's about to hit 4 a.m.
4 a.m. for him, and then it's almost 3 a.m. here, so
It's about to hit 4 a.m. and
we're kind of
this was
tired. So
this was intended to be like a wrap up episode of like our pilot, because our pilot, we're not, I don't know, personally I'm kind of disappointed in it. Like I'm happy people like it, but at the same time, I felt like we could have done better.
yeah,
But anyway, i'm
but
i'm impressed with this one.
rest assured, we'll
This
be back.
I With more jokes, more memes. This one was a very serious stoned one, but I hope people will learn from it at least. Like
Yeah,
I want to be the kind of person that helps people, figure shit out.
yeah.
And I like pop philosophy, pop science
So yeah, reassured we'll be back to our
to
normal stupid
regular
self.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I'm drunk, and at the same time I'm sleepy. So
So yeah, so if you want to catch up with our old podcasts, It's archived in our YouTube channels. YouTube.com/Stercus Occurrit dash official. So yeah, and then for our latest podcasts they are uploaded into SoundCloud.com/Stercus Occurrit official also.
Co-
So
Coming soon to Spotify.
yes, coming soon to Spotify. We're still fixing that. Please sponsor
Also,
us.
if you guys, we have sponsors. Don't worry, I'll plug them the next time. I got some. I got us some sponsors. Don't worry about it.
Because we need money for the stuff
Uh,
for
I'll
the podcast and stuff, so we can be
I'll s-
well.
I'm gonna like plug my PayPal next episode as well, so you guys can send me money. Help a boy. Oh fuck, help a boy out.
Dude, my
You know, I'm just joking. You don't have to PayPal me anything because PayPal charges you depending
they have a
on.
fee. That's
Yeah.
the thing
So
about I don't like about them.
I mean, I don't want cash. What you can do is mail me food. Yeah, send me care packages.
So yeah,
I'm joke. I'm joke. Plug. We'll do the plug.
plug. So yeah, I smell like samgyup right now.
Uh,
So
oh, Samgyup.
yeah, cause I went with someone earlier to samgyup. Like she's
Uh,
been craving for samgyup, so I accompanied her. So
Shit, I feel that, dude. Yeah. So
it was super spontaneous.
I feel that,
Like
dude. Like
I came
most
from she I was like I was in UST actually, and then she was like, "Yo, are you do you want to samgyup?" I'm like, "I'm not at home though." I'm like,
most of my most of my outings are like super spontaneous as well. I
and
feel it.
then
So
yeah.
yeah. So that's it. I have to plug something. I forgot what it was. All right. Oh no, never mind. I forgot. Follow me on Twitter. Actually, don't follow me on Twitter. I hate Twitter. I never use it. So yeah, that's about it.
So
See
please
you guys
follow,
whenever.
please share, and do that stupid shit, and we love you, as if we don't love you. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, I'm always looking for like I like talking to people. If you guys want to have deep philosophical conversations, hit me up. I'm bored, you know. You
Your
can
boy is
find
bored.
you find me on facebook.com/kobe.arbis.
You're actually adding. You're giving away your Facebook.
Uh, yeah, and you can actually DM me on Twitter as well. I don't give a shit. Twitter.com/Kobe_rbeast. Uh,
ARBE8ST.
yeah. I'm always looking to like learn more about people. I like learning about people, you know, and just trying to figure out how they cruise about life. I love doing that. So yeah, that's about it.
So see you in the next episode.
Bye. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.